Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast, the official podcast of filmpulse.net. Thank you so much for listening. This is episode number 173. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we have Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing, Kevin?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Got a double Dolan day.
Double Dolan.
Doubling up the Dolan today. We got two Xavier Dolan reviews coming up. We got Mommy and we got Tom at the Farm.
There you go. There you go.
Doing a little Dolan double bill.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. I was waiting forever for you to see Mommy.
Well, I did. So be excited. Yeah. Be excited. Be happy. You know.
I am. I'm both excited and happy. We'll also be going over some we've been watching, new on Blu-ray, VOD releases, movie predictions, all that fun stuff that we normally do. Before we get into our first review, just wanted to quickly go over some of the news coming out of Comic-Con this year. Still very glad that I don't go to Comic-Con. It looks like every year is a little bit more of a nightmare than the previous year.
Sounds bad. And I think isn't it just lines? Like it's just lines, right?
I'm pretty sure it's just lines. I'm pretty sure
I don't know. It's a Q convention, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know how long because Ernie's there again this year, and I don't know how long he waits in line, but I'm pretty sure it's like days. Like he waits days in line to get into Hall H. I mean, he likes doing it. Some people like it. I think they like the anticipation, you know, but for me, no way. I would just lose it. I would lose it. Plus, and we've said this before, any big news that happens at Comic-Con, it's instantly. The second that it is announced, it's online. You know, because somebody's tweeting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
just a couple highlights so far. We have a new poster for the Hateful Eight. There was a Hateful Eight panel yesterday. The whole cast was there. Tarantino was there. They revealed some footage. Everybody's losing their shit over the footage, so I'm pretty excited about that. The footage hasn't been released online yet. I don't think it will be. But either way, I probably wouldn't watch it either way. The new poster looks awesome, and Tarantino announced that
that's ridiculous.
Morricone is doing the score.
That's ridiculous.
So, wow.
That's just insane.
Time to get excited for that.
I didn't even care about that movie, but that news has got me pretty fucking excited.
That movie is going to be intense. I read an interview with Samuel L. Jackson a few weeks ago that said when they were shooting, Tarantino had the set refrigerated. And he had the temperature down to like 34 degrees or something, so that when they were doing scenes on a set, they would feel the cold. You know, their breath, when you see their breath, it's real.
It's see what a budget gets you?
Yeah.
To refrigerate your sets. That's what everyone's aspiring to. Is to get enough dough, to get enough capital to refrigerate your sets.
Speaking of budgets, they released a new behind-the-scenes video for Star Wars Episode 7. I watched it last night. I wasn't going to watch it at all, but everybody was freaking out about it on Twitter, so I decided to give it a look. Fortunately, I can say it doesn't give away anything about the plot. So, for those of you that want to go into this movie completely cold and know nothing, it doesn't give anything away. Basically, it just shows some behind-the-scenes stuff and how it's basically that they were kind of gloating that they're using almost all practical effects in the movie. Like, all the creature work it's all puppets and people in costumes. Simon Pegg was in it because he's going to be one of the alien creatures. And it was giving me the feels. I was feeling it at the end there.
Oh boy.
So yeah, check that out if you're a Star Wars fan. New Batman v Superman trailer came out yesterday. Holy shit. I'm actually pretty excited for that movie now.
Oh, yeah?
It's a good trailer. It's a
There
trailer.
are always good trailers.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
His movies make really great trailers. Come on.
Zack Snyder, yeah.
But
I thought you were talking about like superhero in general, because I was gonna say
Snyder.
the Fantastic Four trailers aren't doing it for me. Yeah, Snyder does make good trailers, and this is a very good trailer. I'm still a little cautious about this movie. I don't know. It seems like if you watch this trailer and you kind of pay attention to it, it does seem like they lay out the plot in this trailer. I think that there's a lot that can be inferred from this trailer, and I'm not going to get into it in case there are people that don't want to see the trailer and want to go into that one cold, but it looks decent. They show a lot more of Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman, so we get to see more of that. You get to see a little bit of the fight between Batman and Superman, which looks like it's going to be pretty epic.
It should just be that. The entire movie should just be that. Them fighting.
As long as Batman wins, I don't care.
There's no
as long as Batman wins.
There's no possible way he could ever win.
Yes, there is.
No.
He outsmarts Superman.
He can't fucking outsmart Superman. Come on.
He can easily outsmart Superman. He's the world's greatest detective. he's 5 moves ahead of Superman. Superman's a fucking idiot.
All right.
I'm probably gonna get flack for that. I didn't actually mean that. I was joking.
No, you meant it.
No, I didn't. I like Superman. It's just I like Bat. I just like Batman more.
Let's do that for an hour. It's just the entire podcast should be you doing damage control.
Okay, so for the next half hour, I'm gonna compliment Superman and how much I love Superman.
Just try and work it into every review that we do.
They show Wonder Woman. They show Wonder Woman in action in this one. Still not really sure how she fits in this story or why she's even there. I'm hoping that they don't go for a love interest angle with her and Bruce Wayne.
I'm sure.
It seems like they might go that route a little bit, and I hope they don't go there.
Do you think the whole movie is just centered around those two fighting over her?
No. No. That would be horrible.
That would be a terrible, terrible idea.
No, what I think it's going to be is that Bruce Wayne sees Superman, sees what he did to Metropolis in the first movie, and realizes or believes that we got to stop this guy. And I think that the way that they're setting it up, because when they showed Bruce Wayne, he looks older, so like he like his hair's graying. So I think that the way that they're gonna set it up is that Bruce Wayne has not been Batman for a while, and he's kind of coming out of retirement. And they also imply, and I know that I'm totally spoiling the trailer.
Yeah, way to go. Jeez.
I said I wasn't, but whatever, I am. They also imply that Joker killed Robin, because they show a Robin costume with some words written on it from the Joker. So I think it's safe to assume that the Joker killed Robin, and maybe even Commissioner Gordon.
Oh my goodness. You're just wild speculation today.
Yeah.
You're just all over the place. Putting down Superman. Just figuring movies out.
I'm pretty excited for it. Kevin, you should probably be at least a little bit excited for it. You were so into Man of Steel, you fucking love that movie. You're eating that shit up.
I did enjoy that movie. It was good.
I liked it.
I don't know about. What is it? Superman v Batman, or Batman v Superman, or?
Yeah, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh man, they even had to put a subtitle on. Jeez.
They fucked that. They fucked that up. But the movie still looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, this is something that fanboys like myself have wanted forever. You know, Batman and Superman in a movie together. It's exciting.
Why just like I said, Batman can't beat Superman.
Yes, he can.
And now you're telling me that Batman's coming out of retirement with his gray hair and his bad hips and his busted up knee. He's got like 2 bum knees. He ain't got no cartilage in those knees. He's not even gonna be able to do shit.
He makes himself a new suit, and also they show probably 3 different bat suits in the trailer, and they're all really, really badass looking. So I think that these are the best bat suits I've probably seen, maybe since Burton's Batman. Maybe even better than Burton's. Yeah, they look awesome. So the only other Comic-Con related thing I wanted to mention on the show is Ash vs. Evil Dead got a trailer. And so for those of you that don't know, this is actually going to be, it's not a movie, it's a Starz series, a mini-series that they're going to be showing. And when I first heard about that, I was like, I don't know. It's just when you hear things like that, it usually doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, especially on Starz. Like, who even has Starz? But
I don't.
After seeing the trailer, I'm 100% on board with this. The trailer is amazing. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you're an Evil Dead fan, if you like Army of Darkness, oh my god, check that out. Because you will not be disappointed.
I might have to check that out then.
Oh yeah, you're going to be into it.
Okay.
I mean, it has the look and the feel of all the original, of Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2. He's got, he looks pretty good for being the age that he is, and it looks like they're really going to play with that. They're going to kind of, looks like there's going to be a lot of old man jokes, which hopefully there won't be too many that they play it out, but, we'll see. Either way, I'm really excited for it. Let's go ahead and dive into our first review.
Oh, which one are we doing? Oh boy.
I don't know. I was thinking about Tom at the Farm, since that's the one that's not out yet.
Alright, let's do Tom at the Farm.
Tom at the Farm, this actually was made before Mommy.
This was made like 17 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was at TIFF 2012 or something.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just now getting released here in the United States. It's been out for a while in other countries, but it's just now coming out in the States. It is written and directed by Xavier Dolan, but it's based on a book, I believe, by Michel Marc Bichard. Is that right? Am I getting that right?
Why? Yeah, sure. I don't know why you asked me. We're both terrible at this.
Of course, I don't have any notes in front of me, as usual. I'm just kind of winging it.
Nice.
I'm not sure if people know this or not, but I never have notes in front of me, so everything I say is just from memory, which is not, my memory's not the best.
Which I think we should point out that that's the way to do a podcast. So
yeah,
just ad-lib it.
I think in a way it's kind of impressive.
I tell myself that, and I'm sure you do too. It makes you feel better about it, like the quality.
Yeah,
kind of justifies it. So
we rationalize our poor quality with the fact that we are lazy and don't take notes. I take very minimal notes sometimes. Like if there's something that happens in a movie that I absolutely do not want to forget and that I want to mention, I'll kind of make it like a bullet point.
Well, the great thing is that the notes that we do take are always they're nothing serious. They're always like stupid little things.
Oh yeah.
Like, did you see the color of the guy's shoes?
Yeah.
gotta make it a point to point that out.
Well, I at least hope that I can remember the big things. If there's amazing cinematography in a movie, I hope that I can remember that. So anyway, getting back to Tom at the Farm, I have a synopsis here. A grieving man meets his lover's family who were not aware of their son's sexual orientation. Ooh, I was quick and to the point.
Right to it.
Now, I guess I'll start with this one since I wrote a review for Mommy and I talked about it before on the show, and everybody knows what I already think about that one. I liked this. I didn't love it. It was, for me, there wasn't a lot to it. Now, one thing that I like Xavier Dolan for, now granted I haven't seen all of his movies, but from the few that I have seen, he's really good at character work. He's really good at developing these characters and kind of showing the emotional state of these characters. And it feels like you're really getting inside the heads of the characters in his movies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like he's got a knack for that. And he has a knack for dialogue too. And this movie has all those things, but as far as the plot goes, a lot of people were talking, like, comparing this to a Hitchcock film and saying that it's very suspenseful and very filled with tension, and I sometimes felt that, but not really, because I kind of knew exactly where it was heading.
It unfortunately it is a bit predictable because there's not much to the storyline. It's fairly simple.
Yeah, like, when I saw the trailers, I was like, I kind of knew exactly what it was about from the trailer, but what I was kind of hoping was that there was more to it. There were going to be some twists, and, like, maybe this town and this family, they had secrets, and they kind of do, but none of them were like, oh my god, and none of them were really shocking to me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. With the tension, I was kind of surprised because I didn't really know what this movie was about outside of, he goes to visit the family and they don't know of the son's sexual orientation, that they were together. Like, that's all I knew going into it.
Uh-huh.
And then, because it's very different than other Dolan movies, because it is kind of like a thriller. And I was just kind of surprised. I was taken aback, like, with the music and everything. And I'm like,
yeah,
damn, it's kind of tense. It's different. And I liked it for that reason.
Yeah, I think that he said in an interview that this was, like, his attempt at making a genre film.
And I think he does a pretty damn good job of it. Enough so that I want to see more of that. I want to see more creativity, him out, working outside of what we normally see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I would,
and we'll get into it when we talk about Mommy. He kind of has the same themes over and over again.
Yeah. And I would love to see him do a horror movie. I would love him to see him tackle a Giallo-style horror movie or something like that. I think that he'd be really good at it.
I want to see him do just pretty much anything, really.
I want to see him do a found footage supernatural horror movie.
Maybe not that. Maybe not that.
I want to see him do a horror movie about giant bugs that are attacking people.
That could work.
I would really like to see that.
Could work. I'd be interested in that. But
I don't want to come off as that I didn't like this movie, because I did. It wasn't.
It's one of it.
They're just. It was a little meh for me. There wasn't a lot there for me to really engage me in this movie. The character of Tom, he was a complex character, but I just wasn't that attached to him. And a lot of the stuff that he does, he does some really interesting things in this movie. Like the character, the fact that he stays at the farm, even though he's being mercilessly bullied by this guy. And I was like, why? Why are you staying here? This guy's gonna kill you, man.
That was interesting when it took that turn, because I did not see that coming.
Yeah, when he decided that he wanted to stay at the farm and work there.
Yeah, he kind of gets sucked in, and then when when Sarah shows up, and when he's talking to her, because she's trying to talk him out of it, like, we need to get the hell out of here, because let's face it, he's out of his mind.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
And you see that the other people, even when he has interactions with other people in the town, they don't even want to look at him.
No.
They don't even want to look him in the eye, because everybody seems to be scared of this guy, and rightly so, because he's nuts.
Yeah, but when Sarah shows up again, I thought that was kind of interesting with the way that where Tom's character goes and how he stays, and he kind of gets into, like, staying there and being there and working on the farm and everything, and it is complex because Francis is kind of like taking the role of his lover, but not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because he smells like him, he sounds like him, and everything. But a lot of the things that happened with Sarah just didn't make sense to me.
Well,
it just kind of fell apart.
That was actually the next thing I was going to mention, because her character, even though she's barely in it, she's played by Evelyn Bourchou from Orphan Black. Even though she's barely in it at all, her character she has a crazy arc too. Like, she completely changes her attitude from one scene to the next.
And that's what kind of threw me.
I was a little thrown by that too. I'm like, wait a minute, why is, like, literally the last scene, she was like, we got to get out of here. This guy's nuts. We need to leave right now. And in the next scene, there's, something else going on with her. And you're like, what?
They're fucking having a good time. Yeah, that just really didn't make sense to me. It really lost me there. And then it kind of got me back where, Tom goes to the bar and then there's the whole story and
Yeah, yeah.
you kind of find out some things.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be kind of the big reveal.
Yeah.
I should also mention that Xavier Dolan plays Tom. I didn't mention that.
I guess we should point that out at some point in time.
I think he looks like the Joker.
Well, that's funny because I thought that the entire movie, and then the ending, I thought that like, I don't know. I just found that humorous because I was thinking it the whole way through, and then when you find out the story at the end, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, he would be a perfect Joker.
He would be a good Joker, and like always, every single Dolan movie, the acting's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic acting.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it's emotionally draining, like always, which has always been the reason that it's always difficult for me to start a Dolan movie, because I know that that's what it's going to be.
This one isn't as emotionally draining as his others, even though you kind of expect it at the beginning, because, it's about this guy who lost his lover who died, and the mom's grieving and the brother's grieving, and you think that, oh man, this is going to pack a punch, but it's not really. In fact, the way that they act a lot during this time of grieving is kind of odd. The mother's very, very odd, and you can kind of see where Francis gets his mood swings from, especially that scene when she slapped him right in the face at the dinner table. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
She whacked him hard.
That's right. Francis needs to keep his mouth shut. That's why.
Yeah, it's just kind of a minimalist movie, really. There's just not a lot going on with the plot. There's no big, huge reveals or twists or turns or anything like that I was kind of expecting, because a lot of people were comparing this to like a Hitchcock movie. But I didn't. Other than the music, I wasn't really seeing the comparison.
Yeah, I think he does a good job of setting the tone and maintaining the tension throughout the movie. It is kind of predictable. There's not a lot of twists and turns that really surprise you. The only thing that did surprise me is some of the choices that the characters make, because they just don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't, but, and the thing about that too, that is kind of confusing, is they don't affect the story overall.
Yeah, it just goes on to the next thing.
So it's kind of, the only thing I can think of is that just, I guess, showed his power, I guess, Francis, his ability to suck people in. Yeah,
because he could do something absolutely awful to Tom in one scene, and the next scene, it's like it never happened at all. Mm-hmm. It's very, very odd. And it's like they forget that it even happened. So it's kind of weird.
It's different. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it's far from his best work, but it's definitely not disappointing.
Yeah.
I'd say like a couple steps above a meh.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. I didn't dislike my time with this movie. It's fairly short compared to some of his other movies. It's less than 2 hours. It's like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
Which is quite nice. It's a little it's a little more breezy.
For me, it still felt a little lengthy to me.
His films always do. I mean, for me, the last 17 minutes felt like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
In a good and bad way.
Yeah.
In a good way that it was really tense, and he takes his time, telling that story, and you just want to know what the hell happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just get to it.
Yeah, I liked that. You mean you're talking about the scene at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that whole reveal. Thought that was cool. And I did find that scene to be pretty tense. So, and I like the end too. I like the way that they ended it.
The ending was quite good as well. It's just, now what do you think? Because, I think it's safe to say that it's one of his weaker affairs. And the fact that it comes out like what 2, 3 years later,
I think that there were some,
where
yeah,
it comes like they're out of order, and now you're watching a guy that made a movie 3 years ago, which he's much better director than he is or that he was. That's got to be kind of shitty.
you mean like the fact that he probably knows that Mommy is a stronger
Yeah,
film than Tom at the Farm, and Tom at the Farm is coming out after?
yeah.
Well, yeah, that is kind of shitty. But I don't think that this is getting a big release, and I don't think that it's going to get nearly the same amount of hype as
And
Mommy did.
that's the other thing I don't understand with Dolan. Because every time a Dolan movie comes out, every film festival, it's just rave reviews. It's just nonstop rave reviews. Can you believe this guy? How young he is, and how talented he is, and oh my God, it's another brilliant movie. And then we in America are just like sitting around waiting, like, when can we see it? It's just, I mean, is there anyone like that just gives like full on, just nonstop rave reviews, but yet his movies don't really, they take forever to come out here, and then when they do come out, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's a Dolan movie.
I think that they're a hard sell in the United States. They're in French, and they are often pretty lengthy, and they're not genre films. They're usually like familial dramas.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard sell. I think they're definitely a hard sell. I think with the success of Mommy, that could change things. And then also he has his English language debut coming out either this year or next year, so that could change things. He has two movies coming out.
I hope so.
I think he's coming out with another French-Canadian film first, and then he's going to have his English language debut. And they both sound like they're going to be really good. So
They're always going to be good.
one thing I learned about Xavier Dolan that I didn't know is that he does a lot of voiceover work, and that he's the voice of Stan in South Park. When they dub South Park into French,
Are you serious?
he's the voice of Stan Marsh in South Park.
You just fucking made my day.
Get this. He's also the voice of Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter movies. He's the voice of Brainy Smurf in the Smurfs. He's Peeta Mellark in the Hunger Games. He was Pi in Life of Pi. He was Jacob Black in the Twilight series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also did voice. He was in Finding Nemo, My Dog Skip, Pay It Forward, Alpha Dog, High School Musical 3, Senior Year, How to Train Your Dragon. He did the voice of Hiccup.
Lord.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
This guy's unstoppable. He's fucking unstoppable, man.
It's kind of a bizarre thing to know that he's Stan in South Park, the French version.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, what are we gonna score Tom at the Farm? I'll score it first. I'll say I'm kind of waffling between a 6 and a 6.5. I'll go with the 6.5.
I'm gonna go 7.
7.
7.
There you go.
I gotta say, I love me some Xavier Dolan.
Yeah,
And messing with the aspect ratios again. I think he only did it once in Tom at the Farm, though.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, no, you can't a lot of times.
I did not even notice that.
I think it's the scene where Francis is choking him, and is he giving him a hand job too? I don't know.
I didn't
And it kind of
get that, but maybe.
It tightens in.
Oh, really? Huh. I didn't even notice that. Damn. This is going to be playing in select cities August 14th. So check it out there. Probably going to be a while before it hits VOD and DVD. So
There's also another part of me that's just really hoping that I'm completely wrong about that.
what, the aspect ratio?
Yeah. That did not happen at all.
A lot of times, especially if it happens later in the movie, I just don't notice it. Like a lot of times if I'm seeing a movie that part of it was shot in IMAX, and they blow it up, the aspect ratio changes for the IMAX scenes. I don't notice that either.
Yeah,
like for some reason I just have a hard time with that.
I didn't even notice the second time at Mommy when it happened. I had no idea. I figured, I kind of realized it like 3 minutes afterwards. And I was like, hey, wait a
With
second.
with Mommy, it was more noticeable for me because I saw it in the theater, and it was such a drastic change
Gotcha.
because you go from a square to a full frame big 16 by 9 theater screen. So seeing that in the theater, and that was one of the concerns that I had with you seeing it at home. I was like, oh shit, he's not really going to get the full effect and really feel the emotional heft that brings into the movie. But let's go ahead and talk about Mommy. So I think this is on Netflix right now, right? Isn't it on Netflix?
I think you're correct.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix Instant. You can get it on VOD. You can get it on Amazon Instant Video for $3.99. This is also written and directed by Xavier Dolan.
Hence the Dolan double.
Dolan double. I have a synopsis here. A widowed single mother raising her violent son alone finds new hope when a mysterious neighbor inserts herself into their household. That makes it sound kind of nefarious in a way. When a mysterious neighbor inserts herself into their household.
It's odd. It's an odd synopsis.
So, what did you think of Mommy?
Fucking loved it.
I figured you would. I was hoping you would.
Jesus. Again, the fucking acting. My God.
Powerhouse.
Fucking everybody. Everybody.
And, what's her name? Anne Dorval.
She's fantastic. Suzanne Clement, again, fantastic. Antoine Olivier Pallon.
Killed it.
Oh my goodness. Who did he remind me of? I kept thinking that I can't even think of that guy's name. Shit. Should have looked that up. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, Alan Tudyk?
Yeah, he just reminds me of young Alan Tudyk for some reason. That's all I could think of the entire time. It's just like, oh, you're a teenage Tudyk. That's weird.
Teenage Tudyk. Oh man!
But all three of them are just fantastic, and just the cinematography. I mean, you have
out of this world.
And I love his camera movements and what's happening in the frame and how he frames it. I was a little worried at the beginning there with the aspect ratio because it's just right off the bat I'm just like, oh,
it's tight.
It's like this is different.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, so basically the aspect ratio it's a 1:1, right? Isn't it? It's literally a square.
No, I think it's more of a rectangle. What is it?
Is it more of a rectangle? I can't remember.
No, yeah, it is a 1:1.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Didn't feel like. No.
It might.
1.851.
1.851. So it's pretty much a square.
Yeah.
So it's very tight, really
Extremely
close,
tight.
really close up. And apparently he wanted to do that because he wanted the focus to only be on the characters.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Which it really works. It does.
Yeah.
It really works. And then when it opens up,
Yeah, periodically there's
it perfectly communicates what he's trying to communicate. It works so well.
I've never seen aspect ratio used as kind of almost a plot device, really.
Pretty much.
And it worked so well. Like that scene when he opens it up, I was just so blown away by that.
I know. To me, that's something that would, normally I would kind of vomit at that. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, you gotta be kidding me. But it just fucking works. Pretty much everything Dolan does pretty much works for me. A lot of stuff that shouldn't work. I mean, the majority of Mommy, let's be honest here, like 60% of it is just like montages. It's just let's put a track on, we just do some cut it together.
The way that it looks and
exactly.
This is what was kind of surprising to me that worked for me that I'd never the soundtrack. It's got some of the most generic music in it, at least to me. Old early 2000s music, but the way that he uses them, they all work. It's just like in Dope when they use the Korn song and I'm just like, what? And it actually works. The scene, my favorite scene in the entire movie is the scene when they're dancing to the Celine Dion song.
Yeah.
That was my favorite scene, and I loved that scene. And I don't like Celine Dion, but holy shit, did it work in that context?
It sure does. And then, I mean, they play Oasis at one point.
Yeah, they play Oasis.
It's
Yeah,
just like, no. And then you know, after a couple seconds, you're like, yeah, all right, this works. I like this.
don't they play Eiffel 65 too? And it's like, what? Oh man.
You know,
It was all one hit wonder, like, or not one hit wonders, but
yeah,
big pop songs.
the first, what is the first one? The first montage, it might have been the second montage, with him with the longboard and the shopping cart and everything. Wasn't that the Counting Crows?
I think so.
I think it was the Counting Crows. I fucking hate the Counting Crows.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much I hate Lenny Kravitz. Counting Crows is like right below Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, the soundtrack, it's something that I would never, ever in a million years listen to on my own, but it somehow just completely works in this movie.
It does. It sure
And I
does.
think it seems like he was doing that on purpose. Well, actually, when you think about it, it's like, what would these people listen to? What would these characters listen to? They wouldn't listen to some kind of obscure indie folk group, you know? They would listen to this kind of music, the poppy, lame stuff. Yeah, Counting Crows, Dido, Lana Del Rey, Sarah McLachlan.
I mean, the guy knows how to. He knows how to use music in a movie.
Simple Plan.
I mean, really, is there anything that he can't do? I'm wondering.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The dude is ridiculous. He's 26 years old.
Don't say his age. It's so fucking depressing.
He's 26 years old.
Why I just said.
His first film.
You're gonna point it out again.
We're not even talking shorts. We're not talking student films. His first film drew an 8-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival where it premiered. It's ridiculous. The guy is, I mean, I think he may be a prodigy. I think we could call him a film prodigy.
Maybe. I've trying to think of something that I've done. Fuck, I got nothing.
No, of course not. Of course not. None of us ever have. I read that people refer to him as the French Canadian art house cinema Justin Bieber.
Okay, it's gonna
because apparently he's very people called him a brat, and apparently he's difficult to work with. So that could be one thing. He's quite possibly a dick in real life.
maybe.
So maybe there's that. Maybe that's one flaw that we could give Xavier Dolan.
Is it bad of me that I'm kind of hoping that that's true?
No, I don't think so.
But he's probably
I don't think
not.
so.
He's probably not. He's probably
Yeah,
awesome.
he's probably the greatest guy ever.
Fucking Xavier Dolan. Unbelievable.
Getting back to Mommy. Man, this movie.
It's there's a lot of energy in this movie.
Well, there's a lot of plot. There's a lot going on.
Ooh.
This is a very epic movie. There's so much. I mean, it follows. I don't even know how long. How long does it even take? Like the time
I think
span?
it's like 4 days. It just feels like 18 years.
It does. It feels like it's a really long time because they cover so much ground, and there's so many topics that he delves into, and there's just so much going on in this movie, and the journey that each of these characters takes. Not just the kid, but his mom, and then their friend, the teacher across the street,
the mysterious neighbor.
Yeah, who. Let's just go ahead and dispel any kind of thoughts about what that is. It's a teacher.
Yeah,
she lives across the street.
She's on sabbatical and she stutters.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was interesting as well, because they just kind of hint at what she's going through. And maybe, what the cause of the sabbatical is. But they never they never outright discuss it. It doesn't come up. But, a lesser director would use that as like, okay, this is going to be the big emotional set piece, and this
Where
is
she
what
sit,
this is
yeah,
where it's going to bring them together.
yeah, where she sits them down and tells them.
It's going to be this outburst, and there's going to be so much emotion. But no, that doesn't happen. It kind of does, but it's different. It's more of death threats. So
There's one thing that happens near the end of this movie. One big thing that happens that I felt didn't really. I don't want to give away what it is, but you can probably guess what it is.
I'll try
Kevin.
to.
It's a big thing that happens between Steve and Di. It's towards the end of the movie.
Like
I think it's towards the end.
the huge, like,
Something that
culminating.
happens. Yeah, there's something that happens between them, and you're just like, I kind of wish they didn't go there with it. I kind of suspected that maybe it would go down that route.
There really didn't need to be that.
Because-
they kind of hint at it at the beginning with he has attachment issues and stuff, but
Yeah, but I felt like the movie was already was dealing with so many complex themes, and the characters were so.
and I think it was already handled so well prior.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of hinted at and it's never really brought up, but you can kind of feel it. There's situations where they're in where it's kind of uncomfortable.
But the thing is, that moment is so fleeting that it
Well,
didn't bring it down
it
for me
doesn't-
at all.
It doesn't. It's not a huge knock against the film or anything, but because it's such a small sequence, you do wonder why it's even in there.
Right.
It's like, why add that? You were already doing a good enough job.
Yeah.
There's no need for this.
And I love probably my second favorite scene. Well, I don't know.
Just fucking rank them all, buddy.
I'm trying.
Do
Like,
it.
there's a lot of favorite scenes of this movie for me, but I like the end a lot. Where they again bring the aspect ratio to a 16:9. That whole thing at the end. Don't want to give it away, but basically what I thought was going to be the climax of the film, but there's more after that.
Yeah.
A significant amount more, actually. But
It works so well. Just works so damn well. This whole aspect ratio bit.
mm-hmm.
Because it's stifling. It's stifling. And then once it opens up, you can breathe.
Yeah,
Which is exactly what he's trying to get across. And it just works.
exactly. And also the not just the aspect ratio, but all the cinematography is gorgeous in this movie. I loved every bit of it. I thought that every shot was just so perfectly framed. But I guess it would be easier to frame when you have such a tight aspect ratio. No.
It works. Everything works. Framing's always great. The camera movements are great. Oh man, it just feels so good. It's just like this fantasy element to it, the way he shoots things.
Yeah. There's a lot of kind of like dreamlike sequences.
Because even though it's like a emotional roller coaster and it's draining and it's just difficult to get through, there's just this sense of whimsy to it, which is just very odd that he's able to capture that.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedic elements in this. There's definitely some humor, good amount of humor,
but it's
all right.
That's all on the strength of Steve's character. He's just so charismatic.
Yeah. You like him, but
you kind of
it's like
realize that he has his issues and that he's a volatile guy.
Yeah,
you probably
especially
don't want to be around.
Yeah, especially when he goes off.
Yeah, when he's trying to kill people.
Yeah.
But
he's trying to kill you.
Other than that, he seems like a great guy.
And normally it's funny because normally I don't like movies about people with behavioral problems or mental illness. I usually don't like them, but this one just worked on every level for me. So, any final thoughts on Mommy?
I'm gonna say that it's definitely one of his strongest films. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better than Lawrence, anyways. I don't know if I mean, damn, if he tops that, it's gonna be incredible. But it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn
So,
close.
so you're saying this is either tied for first with Lawrence Anyways or a close second?
Close second. Close second.
Now, I haven't seen Lawrence Anyways. I was gonna try to watch it last night, but it was getting too late, and
Whew.
I didn't want to risk falling asleep.
Get yourself ready for that
And
one.
and I was like already knee deep in a Dolan marathon yesterday, so I couldn't do one more. I watched I Killed My Mother, and I rewatched Mommy, and I watched Tom at the Farm yesterday.
Whew.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
hmm So yeah, I was already pretty well drained by that point. I do hope to watch Lawrence Anyways today, though, so I'll report back on that next week, hopefully.
Oh man.
A lot of his movies are on Netflix, by the way. Netflix Instant. You can
Just hop on there. Hop on there and start watching.
you can catch. I think Mommy's on there. I Killed My Mother and Lawrence Anyways. I don't know if
I think
any of his.
the heartbeats used to be on there. I don't know
I
if
think
it still is.
I think it still is. I think I saw that on there yesterday when I was watching I Killed My Mother on there.
I'm looking it up as we speak. See what we got going on. Okay, there's three that are play instant right now. That's Lawrence Anyways, I Killed My Mother, and Heartbeats.
Okay, so Mommy's not. Could have sworn Mommy was on there.
I thought it was too. Apparently not.
Well, if you are interested in seeing it, it is on Amazon Instant Video and all the other VOD platforms, so you can see it there. What are you gonna give Mommy out of 10?
Ooh. I'm gonna go to like a 8.5.
I went with a 10 on this one.
Okay.
Yep. I went 10 out of 10 on Mommy. Absolutely loved it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. I hearted it and 5-starred it on Letterboxd.
Holy shit. There's not much more you can do.
Hearted and 5-starred.
Oh God.
It's currently sitting at my number 2 movie of the year, just under Mad Max, which I also hearted and starred 5. So great movie. Certainly one of the best of the year. If you're trying to see all the best movies of the year, don't miss out on that one, because I understand why people might not like it as much as I did. My girlfriend liked it, but she didn't love it as much as I did. Just I think the length will drain some people. But for me, I was just fully engaged the whole time, and I felt like there weren't any negatives to this movie. I was so into it the entire time.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what you think of Lawrence anyways now. Knowing that Mommy is a 10 out of 10. With
Yeah.
a heart.
With a heart.
You hearted it too.
With a heart. All right, let's talk about someone we've been watching. I'm going to use this as a segue into I Killed My Mother. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. This is his Xavier Dolan's debut, as we mentioned earlier. I liked it a lot. It was a lot like Mommy. Mommy was a lot like this, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, even down to the same actors.
It's kind of like I don't know, maybe coming back to kind of the same storyline, just about, but a little slightly different. I don't know.
Slightly different. This is supposedly semi-autobiographical, and it's certainly not as emotionally explosive as Mommy. It's more, I'd say, in tune with what I would consider to be like a normal conflicts between 17-year-old kids and their parents.
Mm-hmm.
He had issues with his mom.
It seems like it. I mean, I don't want to.
All kinds of conflicts going on with his mom.
I don't want to go out on a limb here, but
It was interesting though because one scene they would be okay with each other, and then like the one scene that sticks out in my mind is there's a scene where she's like, "Hey, I gotta go run an errand. Do you want to go with me and I can drop you off at the video store?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And she does that, and he's picking out a video and he's waiting in line to check out. And she just comes in and screams at him in front of everybody and then leaves. And he's like, what the hell's going on here? And then he goes out and she's gone. She left him there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes back, but it's like, what was that all about? You know, like, she's so upset that he's not respecting her and all this stuff, but it's like, why did she do that? So I think that it was interesting because I think that they both had...
Yeah, because you can kind of see where the issues are coming from. And you kind of see that in Mommy, too. Because there's things that the mother does that you're kind of like, well, that kind of explains why the son acts that way.
Yeah. But I mean, holy hell, what a debut. Jeez.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit, right?
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, usually, there's a lot of people that have great debut films. You know, what's his name? Ben Zeitlin, I think, is a good example with Beast of the Southern Wild.
Ben Zeitlin did one movie, and then Dolan did one, and then did like 6 other ones that are awesome. Yeah. And he just doesn't stop.
And he was 19 years old when he made I Killed My Mother. 19.
It's ridiculous.
So, jeez. Yeah, so I Killed My Mother on Netflix Instant. Check it out. It's really good.
Yeah.
I thought that it was gonna look more low budget and just kind of look rough around the edges.
It's fucking polished as can be.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. It's like, cause at first I was like, well, it's his first film, so he's probably trying to find his voice and his style. But it's like he's got that shit right off the bat.
It seems like he's been cultivating that and maintaining it for 19 years straight, and then just decided to put something out. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch I Killed My Mother, you're thinking, oh, this is from like a professional veteran. Yeah. No, it's just the first movie, and he just knows what he's doing, and he's fucking fantastic at it, and it just doesn't make sense, and it's kind of irritating that he's that good.
I think it's exciting because...
It is exciting.
At 26, he's already had 5 hit feature films. So he's gonna, and he's been cranking them out like nobody's business. So I think that it's really exciting for us as movie watchers to see what he's going to be coming up with next. I'm really excited to see how his English language debut turns out. You know, that's a big hurdle for a lot of directors. Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure it's going to be great, though.
More than likely. I mean, can you maintain that? I can't believe he's maintained it this long. Even though I heard that Heartbeats is kind of like the weakest one. I haven't seen that yet, though.
No, I haven't seen that either.
But I saw Rosewater, which is on Netflix Instant.
The Jon Stewart?
The Jon Stewart debut. And...
I heard it's meh.
It's a meh. He tries a bit too much. He gets a bit creative, and if his creative choices they do not work at all. They just don't work, and it's really detrimental. I mean, because for the most part, if you took all of these artistic flourishes out, and it was just the story and the way that he shoots it, it'd be fine. It'd be it'd be serviceable because it's an interesting story. It's engaging. And he does a decent job of shooting it, bringing it across, everything. It's just he keeps adding these things. There was one that works where it's kind of Gil Garcia Bernal walking from the airport to his mother's house, and he's walking through the streets of Tehran, and he's kind of like reminiscing about his sister and his father and everything. And as he's walking through the city, like, the things that he's reminiscing about are kind of superimposed on the shop windows.
Oh, okay.
Like as he's walking by. And it looks pretty good. And it was an interesting choice. And I think for the most part it worked. The only thing that he kind of kills it at the end, because he's talking about his father he was imprisoned, I forget for how many years, for being a communist back in the 50s. And Gil Garcia Bernal's doing a voiceover. And he's talking about how his dad never broke. He's like, my dad never broke. And then immediately after that, there's the voice of his father in the voiceover that comes on, and he's just like, I never broke. And it's just like, well, that's why? Why did you just do that? That was terrible. And then he says
Yeah.
something else, and then the dad's voice comes in again and just repeats what Bernal said, and you're just like, why? Why are you doing this?
Trying to make it a little poetic.
Yeah, it's just it was working. It was working, and then you completely fucking ruined it. And then there's an instant where he's covering the elections and everything, and his driver that he hired is like, I'll show you the other side. So they're driving through, and he gets to see the opposition side, and he gets to see these secret spots where they have these satellites hooked up and everything, and you know, and then immediately after that, for some reason they do this like where they just show footage of like driving through the city and little hashtags come up at like every single person walking on the street, and it's like hashtag, 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 and then it goes up the buildings and all this shit, and then it kind of zooms out to like a picture, like a map of Tehran with all the hashtags and everything. And it's just like that's like a CNN like segue move. Why did you put
Yeah.
that in your move? This why? And then when he's imprisoned, he's talking to he has dialogues with his father about their experiences being in prison, and they have an actor playing his father, so they'll have discussions with each other, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Hmm. That's a
It's
shame.
yeah, it's unfortunate because it's a good story. You have a great story already.
Well, and from what I understand, it's a pretty personal story to Jon Stewart as well.
Yeah,
Like, he
and
knew that. He knew the guy, right?
well, and
Isn't that?
they show too. They have Jason Jones is in the movie because
Oh, okay.
they interviewed the guy for the Daily Show. So they show
Right.
like he goes and does the interview with Jason Jones, and they do it. And then when he's in jail and he's being interrogated, they use the footage from the Daily Show
Okay.
like against him because Jason Jones is kind of joking about, oh, I'm a spy, da, da, da. And then when they're interrogating him, they're like, why are you meeting with an American spy? And he's like, no, 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 it's a comedy show, but they think it's real.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah. I remember when that.
kind of got him in trouble. But I mean, it's a hell of a story, and if you take all those bits out, it's good. It's like a solid six. Where it's like, that's a good movie. It's nothing special, but it's good enough. But just all these choices that he put in just really, really bogs it down.
Yeah. It sounds like he was trying to be a little artistic, a little bit risky with his storytelling techniques, and it
Yeah, it just
didn't really work
it
out.
didn't work out. It didn't work. And the things that did work out, you're like, hey, this is working. He would just come in and destroy it by just going a bit too far with it.
That's a shame. So that's Rosewater on Netflix now. I saw one that it was risky, and it absolutely did work out, and that's with Tangerine. Film shot entirely on an iPhone. Holy crap.
Okay. All right.
Holy crap. When you see this movie, I was amazed that it was shot on an iPhone, first of all. It looks so good. And let me just preface that with I saw this at the part of the Rooftop Summer Film Festival here in the city, so it was on the roof of a building, and it was a big outdoor screen. So it's entirely possible that I didn't see all the detail that may have made it look lower quality. But in my viewing experience, it looked amazing. Also, before the screening, they had a performance by a rapper by the name of Dayburger, a female rapper, and it was the most perfect pairing with this movie. The programmers at Rooftop, they know what's up. It was a treat. So Tangerine, story about two transgender prostitutes looking for a pimp on Christmas Eve in Los Angeles, and it's a comedy, but it deals with some major issues within the transgender community, but it doesn't hammer you over the head with it. It's not about that. Like, it's not about the fact that these two main characters are transgender. It's just they happen to be transgender.
Yeah.
And I think that movies like this are so important right now because the more that we can feature trans people in the media, in cinema and in TV even, the more socially acceptable it'll become.
Oh, yeah.
And so movies like this, I think, are vitally important. And the way that Sean Baker edits this movie, because he directs, produces, writes, edits, he did everything. And the editing is, you may have a problem with it. I don't know if you're gonna
You just always assume that I'm gonna have problems with things.
I do, because you're really hard on things. But I love the editing. It's very fast. I mean, the editing, it is rapid fire.
Okay. All right.
And the whole movie it's a very kinetic movie, very fast paced. It's really music driven. There's a lot of great music in it too. And a lot of the movie is just them walking from point A to point B. But the way that it's shot and cut and the music that they add to it, it meshes. I mean, it is great. And it's hysterically funny. The writing is on point. It is so good.
I think one of my favorite things in movies, just people walking and talking, chit-chatting.
It's great. There's a lot of it in this movie. There's one aspect of this movie that I did not like and I could have done without, and that's the fact that there's a entirely separate plot line that's happening concurrently with the two girls played by Katana Kiki Rodriguez and Maya Taylor.
Okay.
Cindy and Alexandra, I believe, are their names in the film. There's an entirely separate plot line that's happening with this cab driver. So periodically they'll cut to this cab driver driving around, dealing with drunk people and weird people. And at one point we go back, he goes home and we meet his family and he's having a dinner and all this stuff. And it's just like, why are we learning so much about this guy? Why is he important to the story? Because at first, for most of the movie, he's completely disconnected from the main characters.
Yeah.
There's no connection at all, other than we could probably assume that he's driving around the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
But they do connect them. I just felt like it wasn't that big of a payoff. It didn't feel quite earned, because we had to spend so much time with this guy and his family. And I felt like a lot of times when they would switch to his story, the film would lose momentum, because the two main characters were so funny and interesting that you just wanted to stay with them and see what happens with them. And they were just, so energetic and talking so fast and arguing with each other and arguing with people on the street and yelling and fighting. And it was just, there's just so much energy there. And then you'd switch to him and there's just not a lot going on. He's driving around in a cab.
Everything comes to a screeching halt.
So, yeah, that was the one small negative I had with this movie. But everything else was amazing. I overall loved it. You can read my full review. It's up on the site now. This is currently playing in New York and I think LA.
Okay.
I'm not sure what kind of release it's going to get otherwise, but I think it's one of the best of the year. So
I didn't hear you say Lancaster. Is it playing in Lancaster?
I don't think so right now. No, it seems this seems like a type of movie that may not end up in Lancaster. I don't know. Maybe it'll.
I think
it's getting a lot of buzz. So
I think it might be. I think it might be coming.
It's getting a lot of buzz, so I could definitely see it showing up in small indie theaters around the country.
I'm taking. Oh yeah, it's coming. I'm getting it in August.
Oh, there you go.
Getting it in August.
Yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. Tangerine.
I look forward to that one.
Yeah, you should. It's amazing.
Another one that I've been looking forward to. Finally got to check it out. Ex Machina. Oh boy.
This one could.
Oh boy.
We could probably discuss this one at length. We're not going to, but there's a lot going on in this movie.
We could do a bunch of things, but we could just marvel at the design of the whole thing.
Woo!
Just that. Oh Jesus Christ.
The whole compound that he lives in is amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Just unbelievable. Everything. Color palette. The look of it. The design of the AI. Of Ava. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, damn, that looked so unbelievable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me just throw that out there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very interesting off the bat. Oscar Isaac's portrayal is wholly fascinating. Just to watch him
because you
interact.
didn't expect it. You don't expect that character to act that way.
It's
He's a
just
dude, bro.
yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing to witness. And I mean, honestly, I just wanted more of him. Just more of him and Gleason interacting, and just the bizarre things that he would do. The disco dancing, which just comes out of nowhere and is, without a doubt, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, it kind of falls apart a little bit towards the end. I think the entire thing was pretty damn predictable right from the outset. But the fact that that Alex Garland was still able to keep it engaging and fascinating and interesting despite that, I think it's exceptional. But the where it ends up at the end was just because you have all these interesting things going on, all these topics and discussions, and all of it is just fantastic. And then you just kind of throw it all off the table, just, arm sweep everything off the table. And you're like, well, let's just make it a thriller. And it's like, why did you do that? I mean, it was thrilling, yes, but it seems like everything was just scrapped at the end there. And we just went for a more traditional, straightforward, which I think was just kind of a disservice to everything
Well,
that
like
was built up before.
like you said, you kind of know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You expect that, even if you saw the trailers, they show it in the trailers where it's gonna go. So yeah, I don't know if it was meant to be like a shocking twist or anything about what happens
Yeah, but
during the climax, but
it just does feel like all the intelligence is just
it's
thrown out the window. And we're
it's
like,
interesting.
just this is what we are now. And it's just like, hey, come on, you were so much better.
This is one of the few movies where I saw it in the theater, and after the movie, I liked it. I liked what I saw. It wasn't. I mean, pretty much, I felt the exact same way you did, but the screening that I saw it at had a Q&A with Alex Garland afterwards, which, first of all, I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was there.
That was the surprise twist for you.
Yeah, that was.
Oh shit, there's a Q&A? What?
And I actually stayed for the Q&A. A lot of times I don't, because often they're very painful to sit through.
Yeah.
Not because of the the filmmakers or actors or whoever, but because of the audience.
The people asking the question. There's
the
nothing
audience,
worse than hearing audience questions.
And 9 times out of 10, you'll be at a Q&A where somebody doesn't even have a question. They just are like, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that this movie was great. And it'd be like, okay, was there a question? No, I just I wanted you to know that I liked it. Like, okay, thank you, random man in audience. Anyway, the Q&A, he kind of went into a lot of detail about his decisions for this movie.
Well, and you can
like
you can tell that's kind of what. Sorry to cut you off, but that's kind of what bothered me is you can tell that he put an insane amount of thought into everything that's going on in this movie, and then it feels like it just all got scrapped at the end, and we just went for like a standard like sci-fi thriller,
sort of, yeah,
which is just kind of unfortunate.
I agree with that. But it was one of the few Q&As where afterwards I actually liked the movie more, because I didn't just seeing the movie, coming out of it, not really processing it, fully. It was like he was doing the processing for me. And he kind of disclosed all of the subtext and everything that was in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, yeah, that's crazy. That movie's crazy. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, it's not on my top 10 or anything. It's close. But it's not.
I always find anything that deals with AI it's so intriguing. Cause it's just, I don't know if it's just they always seem to follow the same route or end up the same because it makes for a better, narrative. But it's an interesting insight to see what people, what they think is going to happen or how it's going to play out.
I think
Because it's always negative.
yeah,
Which
it's
is
always
it's
negative.
an interesting insight into what they think of humans.
I think that artificial intelligence is kind of an inherently interesting concept. And I think that first off, it's a concept that seems to be within our grasp, you know? It seems like something like this could happen one day.
Yeah.
Within maybe even within our lifetimes. And the idea of artificial intelligence is just it's fascinating. It's fascinating because not only would it be self-aware, it would be infinitely more intelligent than any human being on Earth.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, what would that mean? What would that do? Like, how would that? But of course, this movie gets into a lot of other topics as well, not just AI.
Yeah.
So,
Oscar
Ex
Isaac,
Machina.
jeez. Is he like the best guy working right now?
He's awesome.
He's,
That's for sure.
He's fucking unbelievable. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's definitely good. That comes out on DVD and Blu-ray Tuesday, so be sure to check it out.
Check it. Get on that.
All the rest I have for this week are not amazing. Oh, well, I have one that's pretty good. Let me start off with one that's not, though. I Lived. This is a horror film by Frank Colfoon. He's the guy that did the Maniac remake
Okay.
a couple years ago, which I liked a lot, actually, and that's why I gave this a look. It's not good. It's about this guy who does YouTube app reviews. So he's a YouTuber and he does reviews of cell phone apps. And he finds this app called I Lived and decides to try it out. It's basically supposed to be like a life coach sort of, where you put in a goal like get a six pack, and then it alerts you and kind of motivates you to reach your goals.
Mm-hmm.
However, as he starts to find out there's something more nefarious at foot here, his goals, all the goals that he puts in there, start coming true.
Ooh.
But there are some negative consequences to these things.
Consequences.
And really, all you have to do, if you want to know how on the nose this movie is, just look at the title and read it backwards.
What's the title of this again?
I Lived. Devil Eye. That's the name. That's what it is spelled backwards. There's so much on the nose imagery in this. It's kind of silly. It's kind of silly. The big problem I had was the main character. He was such a fucking tool that I couldn't stand him at all. I hated him so much. So much. And I didn't care what happened to him. I wanted him to fail.
So what you're saying is the devil makes an app. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Basically.
Oh god.
And at first, it's kind of cool. It's this mysterious app that essentially makes your dreams come true, but then bad things start to happen. So it's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of like a monkey paw type thing that's going on here, where.
But I would like to see the flip side of this, which is the devil in Silicon Valley drumming up interest and
Working with
funds.
working with developers.
Meeting with
I could
people,
just
going
see
to parties.
he has one of those Bluetooth things in his ear, and he's pacing back and forth among cubicles of programmers, and he's like, "No, I need a cleaner interface. I need a cleaner interface on this. It needs to be dummy proof. People need to just pick it up and start using it."
Yeah. See, that's the movie that should have been made.
At one point, you do see the guy who created the app. And he just looks like a regular guy, but the scene, he's in this kind of study, and there's like some deer antlers or something on the wall, and the way that the camera's positioned, he's standing in front of the antlers, and it makes it look like he has devil horns. Or no, I think it was actually bull horns. that were on the wall.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, are you kidding me? You actually just did that right now.
Wow.
So yeah, this one is a big failure for me. Big fail.
Oh boy.
I Lived. It's on VOD right now.
Yeah. Get some of that. I don't have anything else, so.
Okay. Well, I'll just mention one more. I saw a few other things, but I'll just mention one more, and that's Creep. This is on VOD right now. Stars Mark Duplass. And this is... The reason I'm mentioning this is because it's a found footage horror film.
What?
And this one actually worked for me.
No.
I liked it quite a bit. And I think that when you see it, you'll like it too. It's basically about a guy who hires a cameraman for $1,000, and all he has to do is follow him around for a day, because apparently he has an inoperable brain tumor, and his wife is pregnant, and he's kind of just making a video for his unborn child.
Okay.
But things start to get a little bit weird. And as it turns out, this guy may not be who he says he is, and it starts to escalate from there. A very slow burn, like most found footage horror films. You don't really know what's going to happen or where it's going to go. I mean, you have suspicions, of course, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff in it that makes you kind of second guess what's going on. And I liked that about it.
It sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's some comedy in it, too. Mark Duplass plays such a weirdo in this movie. It's worth seeing just for him playing this character.
That's the main thing I want to see.
Yeah, if you see the trailer, they show a really funny scene when he first meets him and he pops up in his window and he goes, "Oh my god, this is going to be a good day." And just the way he says it and the way he looks, it's just so funny.
Oh god.
Oh my god, this is going to be a good day. And then he makes him get out of the car and he hugs him right away.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird little movie. I do recommend it. It's not mind-blowing or anything, but as far as found footage goes, it's not bad. There's always one or two found footage movies that come out every year that are quite good.
Well, I think the number one caveat to making a good found footage movie is just keep it simple. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple and have the mechanic make sense.
Exactly.
You know, this makes sense because it's a guy recording another guy. It makes sense. There's some found footage movies where it doesn't make sense, where it's like, oh, we're going on vacation, let's record everything, and it feels tacked on. Like you didn't have to do it this way.
Yeah. That's pretty much 80% of them. Probably even higher. 90, 95,
And
98%.
I think that's one of the most disappointing things about found footage for me is that with some of them, I'll see the movie and I'll be like, this would actually be pretty good if it wasn't found footage.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Sometimes the mechanic feels very detrimental to the actual movie.
Well, I get the sense sometimes that they just use that mechanic as number one
crutch.
Well, number one, it's it's easily marketable. And they think that there's a market for it. And then second, it's easier to kind of justify the look of the film. If you have a low budget and it doesn't look that great, you just be like, well, it's found footage. It's supposed to look that way.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, Creep I do recommend checking out, even though it is found footage. It's a good found footage one. I think Blumhouse Tilt is putting it out, which is kind of some sort of offshoot of Blumhouse. I don't know what. I know that they're the same subgroup that's putting out Green Inferno, Eli Roth's
Oh, okay.
one. They picked it up. So, yeah, check it out. Let's go ahead and talk about some predictions last week. Minions. Oh, man, I didn't pull up the results.
Minions.
Can't go over the results if I don't have them in front of my face.
Let's just make them up. Minions got a 14. Can you believe that?
Okay, Minions, you said 62, I said 78, actual 54. Good, good. I'm glad that didn't kill it.
Good.
I don't know what I didn't look at the box office numbers for this weekend, but I'm guessing it did
I
pretty
think it
good.
made like $287 billion. And you,
It beat all the superhero movies that
the,
beat
what,
Jurassic World.
the worst part about Minions is just that they're fucking everywhere.
I know,
It's
they've
like
invaded our
it's
lives.
like Minions applesauce, Minions fruit drink. Hey, get your Minions Swiffers. It's like Jesus Christ. Will you not like? Do you have to put the Minions on everything?
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. Selfless. I kind of forgot that even came out. You said 42. I said 32. Actual 20. A Tarsum Singh movie that didn't get a good review. That didn't get good reviews. Go figure.
Yeah, didn't expect that to happen.
And finally, we have The Gallows. You said 0. I said 51. Actual 14.
Damn.
So you were closer on that one.
Damn right it was.
We have a review for that up on the site. We gave it a 3.
Oof.
Yeah, Blake reviewed that for us. Next week, we have a big one. Ant-Man.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty excited for it. Early reviews are out for that one, and everybody's saying that it's quite good, and they're saying that the Edgar Wright style is still there, even though he
Left.
he left.
They just got someone to come in and imitate him. That's good for the future of people.
Well,
Directors,
I don't know.
just
I
hire
don't know.
someone else to come in and act like them.
I'm not sure that
Much
it
cheaper.
was imitating so much as just kind of going off the script, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited for it. I heard a lot of good things. I heard that it's one of the funniest Marvel movies thus far, so I will say I'll say 72.
I'm gonna say 62.
Okay. And let's see, Trainwreck comes out also. The Judd Apatow
Okay.
one with Amy Schumer.
Okay.
Amy Schumer blowing up.
She's all over the place.
She just
Just
exploded onto the
you
scene.
might not know this, but I can't stand her.
Really? Well,
I just hate her comedy.
I think I watch Inside Amy Schumer, and I find some of it to be funny. I think she has her moments.
I haven't seen the show. I've just seen some of her stand up and not a fan. Not a fan. Can't get behind that.
The show's pretty funny. I mean, the fact that they did a shot-for-shot remake of 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, I almost watched that because I did read about that and I thought, damn, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I probably will have to watch that at some point. At least
She does a lot of cool stuff on her show. But anyway, what are you thinking about Trainwreck?
Trainwreck, I'm gonna say 74.
I'm thinking the Trainwreck is going to be anything but a train wreck,
Oh my god!
and I'm gonna say 86.
Before you know it, you're gonna be in the mainstream with shit like that. You're gonna syndicate it, everything. Can't wait.
In limited release, we have Ardor.
Uh-huh.
We have Mr. Holmes, which is the one with Ian McKellen as an older Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, let's get that Sherlock on.
I have no interest in that, actually.
Sherlock overload.
The Stanford the Stanford Prison Experiment.
There you go. You got it.
This is one that's been eluding me. I keep getting invites to go to screenings for this, and I always want to go, but for some reason can't. So I'm actually pretty excited for this one.
They just
I think it looks
fucking make movies out of anything now.
I think it looks pretty good.
I can't wait until we have like a movie based upon a Wikipedia article. The future is so fucking bright. I can't wait.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm excited for. I think the future is bright in cinema. Irrational Man and The Look of Silence.
Okay.
So next week on a video on demand, we have Joe Dirt 2, Beautiful Loser. Do I Sound Gay comes out on the 15th. Saw that. It's a pretty decent doc. Not great. Shred comes out on the 14th. A lot of odd days that a lot of these are coming out. Let's see. Safe Light, Ardor, and is it Lila and Eve?
Okay. All right.
Eh.
This is just the part of the show where you go through extremely generic film titles and my eyes gloss over.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And all I hear is you just going,
Let's go over some Blu-ray releases. First of all, I want to mention that a slew of films have received Comic-Con limited edition Blu-ray releases, and the covers are awesome.
Okay.
So they're available now. They went on sale July 9th, and that they include Batman the Movie from 1966, Big Trouble in Little China, Commando, The Terminator, Mad Max, X-Men, Spaceballs, and Aliens. Check those out. They're $20 each, and they look awesome. Yeah. I haven't looked into like the special features or anything, but the cover art looks really, really cool.
That is the special feature.
And I'd probably be okay with that as long as the transfer was good. I'd be okay with that. So we have Ex Machina, X-Men Days of Future Past. I recommend both of those. The X-Men one intrigues me even more because it includes all of the stuff that was cut from the film. So if you remember back when that came out, they had to cut it down for length. It was quite long, the original version of that movie. So some of the scenes that they ended up cutting were actually pretty big scenes.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited to see the various things that got cut out of it. It Follows, obviously recommend that one. Huge fan of that one. Let's see what else we got here. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Probably skip that one. I'd probably avoid that one. Just outright avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's pretty much it for new stuff. Adventure Time.
Yes.
Is getting a release. What is that?
Yes.
The 5th season is getting a release. The Howling 2 is getting a Blu-ray release. Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones and Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
I remember liking that movie, but I don't think it's very good. Oh, The Second Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. That's pretty much it. The Longest Ride. That's that Nicholas Sparks one, I think.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. So a good number of things coming out next week. Giuseppe Makes a Movie also. I recommend that if you're into
full of releases.
Yeah. I recommend that one if you're into Giuseppe Andrews or into gross stuff.
If you're into gross. Just hop on.
If you like Harmony Korine and kind of, I don't know what you'd even call that.
Trash cinema?
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Gonzo?
A lot of non-actors, yeah, Gonzo. He uses a lot of homeless people and drug addicts in his movies.
There you go.
And pays them in alcohol.
Which is really the only way to work. Honestly, that's how most of us work.
Yeah.
Except we get money to cover it up. But
what
do we got?
Sorry, there's Lost Soul: The Doomed Journey of what's his name? Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau.
Jesus Christ, that's the title.
Yeah, listen to this. This is the full title.
Oh man.
Lost Soul: The Doomed Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau, House of Pain edition. Actually, I want to see that because it's about the that 90s Island of Dr. Moreau movie that came out.
Yeah.
That was like a disaster. And I kind of want to see the whole behind the scenes stuff with that.
Oh my.
Anyway, what do we got on the Criterion front?
We got three. We got three of them this week. All right. Hiroshima Mon Amour, It's getting re-released Blu-ray coming out. We have The Black Stallion from 1979, Carol Ballard.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's coming out. And then Here Is Your Life from 1966. So I haven't seen any of these. I think I think I've seen Hiroshima Mon Amour. I don't remember it though. So I guess that's an indicator that either it didn't stick with me or a lot of time has passed.
Arrow Films is releasing Stray Cat Rock, the collection.
There you go.
Miko Kaji, series collection of 5 films. Arrow, man, Arrow is killing it. I feel like Scream Factory and Arrow.
See, Arrow has just been. They need to calm down just a little bit. They're gonna wear themselves out.
I know they're.
They just cool it for a little bit. Just take a break, take a vacation. You deserve it.
Every week there's like 5 films that Arrow comes out with that I want.
To be fucking honest, I get like my Twitter, whatever timeline, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's just Arrow, just nonstop. And every day it's like, here's the 6 new releases from Arrow. And it's just like, you just announced 7 yesterday. What the fuck?
And the thing is, they're really good releases. They're quality too.
I know, and I want like every single one of them.
Yeah.
And they gotta stop. Just let's take a break.
Take a breather. They're putting out a lot of really great obscure.
This is like
stuff.
It's like tantric releasing. Just fucking cool it. Let's take a break. We're sore.
Oh boy. All right. I think that will wrap it up for this week. Be sure to send us your questions. Podcastfilmpulse.net is the address. Follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And please take a look at our Patreon page. Patreon.com/FilmPulse is the address. Please consider subscribing. For as little as $1 per month, you'll be helping support the show and the website. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you on Thursday for Ryan Watches a Movie.